And welcome into the Ultimate Soccer 2023 Gold Cup predictions, prognostications, and foretelling for the final. Yes, game 31. We've actually got there. It's been a fantastic tournament, like I said it was. And we had two amazing semi-finals. I've got to tell you, some you get right, some you get wrong. And I'll tell you what, between myself and yourselves, we've tipped this pretty close. We've got one wrong in all the games. And it was in this round, so pretty gutted. I'm only 50-50, but you know what? You can't win them all. How did you do? Did you get both the finals, semi-finals right? Did you get one right? Did you get none right? What did you get right? But did you enjoy it? I'll tell you what, we had two fantastic semi-finals. There's no doubt about it. You will go far and wide before you get more drama than what we had. Now, getting into the first semi-final, oh yes, the USA taking on Panama. And I tell you, brilliant game, brilliant game. I got to go through this one. 30 seconds in, the USA open up the game. Boom! Vasquez bangs it off the post. You're thinking, whoa! And for the first sort of 5 minutes, the USA is literally all over Panama. And it seems, and it really does seem that at the time, Panama can't get the ball out of their zone. They can't even string two passes together. It's like, what happened to Panama? What's going on? Yeah, we do know the USA's got some talent, even though this is the B team. But they got talent all the way through, and so does Panama. And when you look at the two sides, there's one thing that stuck out like a sore thumb, and that was that Panama's got a lot of good, experienced players on that team, and the game management from Panama in the first half was absolutely the best performance I've ever seen Panama play. And I've seen Panama play a lot of games. I'll tell you what, Thomas Christiansen, the coach, has got this team fired up and going in a different direction. And I said a few shows ago, watch for Panama to get to the next World Cup. I don't think they'll have a problem. I really don't. I think he's got something building there. But anyway, the game itself, you're looking for the USA to continue that flow. But literally at about the 15th minute, Panama starts stroking it around, going left, going right, making things happen. The only thing that doesn't come off is the final pass or that final shot on net. Turner's got a hand, or there's a block in front on something, or that final pass doesn't get there, but they're getting closer. And the game management, like I say, the game management from Panama was absolutely flawless. It was the perfect road game. They weren't trying to entertain. They were just trying to win. And they were trying to get to the USA as fast as they could. And you got to give credit to the US. They didn't crumble. They didn't break. And you got to say, we got to half-time and the score was 0-0. But a couple of interesting stats. Panama had 66% possession. 4 shots on net. The USA, 24% possession. 34%, sorry. And 3 shots on net. So you're thinking to yourself, is there an upset on the cards? And I said to myself, if the USA doesn't wake up in the second half, they're going out of this tournament. They look so sluggish. But one of the big differences was that experience, and that helped to manage the game so perfectly for Panama that it made life really tough for that young US team to actually get to grips with this game. Yet everything that they did was on the outside, and you really thought that maybe one goal could have decided this game. It wasn't going to be that, but I got to say, half-time we reached 0-0, and you're thinking, how did we get to half-time with no goals? But lots of action, fantastic crowd, fantastic scene, and a decent first half. But you have to say, Panama firmly in control of the game, waiting for Panama to penetrate that net. And let's see what happens. But in the second half, we get underway. Nothing really great happens. Nothing great happens, and nothing really changes in the game. It's another battle of attrition, and we get to extra time before we know it, whereby you're saying, is there a goal in this game? Well, extra time was one of those times where you do sort of normally get a goal. Otherwise, it goes the bad way, and that's the way that you don't want it to go. I'll tell you about that in a second. But extra time kicks off. Panama still penetrating, still rolling the dice, is going forward, making things happen. And then a ball on the through side. Stick on your eyes on this picture here because he's so onside, it's untrue. Have a look at that. So for Panama, it's third time lucky. Even Anderson puts that ball away. And I tell you what, he did so well for a young guy. And Turner did as much as he could to keep it out. But 1-0 Panama, and you're thinking, wow, 99 minutes and we got a goal. 9 minutes into extra time, but we still got 21 minutes to go. That's a long time to defend a 1-goal lead, especially when you're playing the US and you're thinking, They only need one chance, and they'll get a goal. And that came 6 minutes after Panama had scored, and Jesus Ferreira bangs one in, a beautiful volley, far corner. Mosquera can do nothing about it, and Mosquera was fantastic on the night. You'll hear more about him. But I got to tell you, fantastic, fantastic strike. And that's number 7 on the tournament for Jesus Ferreira. He probably will win that golden boot. Bruce, beware. But I'm telling you, Jesus Ferreira definitely looks like he's winning the golden boot. 1-1. Game trickles down, goes to a death, and then you got the tie. And the crowd is somewhat surprised that we've got to 120 minutes. And now we're going into penalty kicks, because I think a lot of people in the crowd were looking for the US just to get through this with a difficult game, but get through it with a win. And it didn't happen. And the US did not dominate this game. Panama dominated, controlled, and the game management was absolutely perfect. Every Panama fan in the world watching that game, even in the crowd, had a massive tear in their eye for how proud they were and for how good the little nation of 4.4 million going up against 338 million of the US, that they could take a win in extra time or penalty kicks. And it was going to be penalty kicks where it happened. Let's face it, both goalkeepers tried what they did. Turner tried what he did. Mosquera would do what he did. And it was Mosquera on the day that would make the vital save to make a fantastic 5-4 victory on penalties for Panama, putting them into their first ever final. On that note, Mexico's won 8, USA's won 7, Canada's won 1. Will Panama win their first game? Coming up is the next semi-final, but I got to tell you, a fantastic game from Panama, a comprehensive performance, and they've really put themselves in the frame to maybe win a big trophy. Let's take a look at the second semi-final, because it was as good as this one, if not better, if you're of one of the two nations. Let's take a look. Now, the second semi-final. Oh, I tell you what, Jamaica taking on Mexico. I tell you, I said before, Jamaica would come into this game and have that physical presence, and then they needed to be ruthless in front of net. The physical presence was there, but it didn't connect through the lines. You know, this was probably the flattest game in the tournament that Jamaica had played. So sad, because with all the boys on that team getting real close together and having this flow and the goals going in and looking for a trophy and some glory for the Jamaican island and the nation, it just went really flat at the wrong time. And I asked myself, was it fatigue? Remember, they had 1 day's less rest. Did it really factor? I told you it probably would. And I think in this game it did, because tell you, Jamaica looked flat. Not flat as a pancake. They had moments when they were on the counter-attack and they could have had things happening and the ball might have found the back of the net. But on the day, it just wasn't going to be. I mean, it kicks off 2 minutes in. Henry Martin puts the ball in the back of the net. Andre Blake can do nothing about it. And the defense was literally stung before it had even got warmed into the game. So it was a little bit of a shocker for everybody for a goal that early, but Mexico would love that for a second. They could then settle into that passing through Jamaica, like I said they would, and they did it all night long. Jamaica passed through. They had the tactics perfect, the tic-tac-toe, and all the method that they know how to use, and the game management went flawlessly for them too. So you got to say, on the night, it looked like it was going to be a great night for Mexico after 2 minutes. We moved through, remember the 27th minute when we had a drop ball by the referee? Yeah, it hit the big cam in the sky cam. I've never seen that happen before. Have you? Have you ever seen that happen? I've never seen it. Not once. Not once in my life have I ever seen a sky cam hit by the ball. I tell you when I have seen it, with the indoor soccer from years ago, when I used to announce the games for indoor soccer leagues, the ball would sometimes hit the ceiling. So that's something I have seen, but I've never seen it hit the sky cam, ever. But remember, Mexico's 1-0 up. They're starting to play through Jamaica. They're starting to own the game. Jamaica's getting 1 or 2 sporadic counterattacks, but it's really thin on the ground. And instead of moving as a team, they're literally playing a few too many long balls, and there's no support play. So you got to say, Demarai Gray, Andre can do what he can, yeah? You got to say that Mikel Antonio can hold up the ball very well for West Ham, and he does it well for Jamaica too, but you need support there. Otherwise, it fizzles out. And a lot of what Jamaica were doing just fizzled out and didn't really get on net too much. And when it did, Ochoa was there, or there was a timely block and a timely tackle. And there was many, many timely tackles and many timely blocks from many Mexicans on the night. It literally was, when Jamaica went forward, there was too many Mexicans in the way. But on the other hand, that very tactical play through you, hurt you. It would happen again on 29 minutes. Luis Chavez would score a fantastic goal, this time off a free kick, one through the purpose of playing through. But Chavez on that free kick on 29 minutes, I got to tell you, when that went in, it was an absolute thing of beauty. Again, Andre Blake could do nothing about it. Up in the top corner, Luis Chavez struck a wonder free kick. And when it went in, I got to tell you, I felt so sad for Jamaica because I thought that ripped the heart right out of him, right there in the game. And I'm sorry to say it, Jamaica fans, because I was looking for you guys to get in the final. But when that second goal went in, I just didn't see a comeback. And it was literally one-way traffic at that time, moving forward to halftime. Mexico fully in control, 2-0 at the half. The second half would get underway. Again, Jamaica would have more going forward. They would have more impetus in the game. And the single battles and the one-on-ones, they were starting to win those. In the first half, they were not winning the one-on-ones. And when they were literally careering through physically and causing fouls on the day. But they were literally getting in the second half and causing problems for Mexico. Had they got that early goal, I think we would have been in for an absolute massive finish. And Jamaica may well have overturned it. If not, they could have at least got it back to 2-2 and maybe taken it to penalties. But as time wore through, one of the talking points of the game, and I want to talk to you on this point, on this game, Jamaica and Mexico. Leon Bailey. Take a look at the picture. So remember, Jamaica's 2-0 down. That picture, Leon Bailey, I tell you what, was it a red card? Was it worthy of a red card in that moment? You tell me what you think, because I tell you what, Jamaica fans online, as some of you guys were saying, wow, we just literally dodged a bullet there. I mean, when you stamp out and kick out at somebody, it's definitely a straight red, but he didn't get a red. And VAR looked at it. And what did they not see? Or what did they see? And what did you see? And what do you think? Down below, you know what to do. Come on, poets. And by the way, big up to you, and I mean you. When you subscribe and you like, and you subscribe and you like, and you share and you hit the notification button, you make this channel grow. It's you that's going to make this channel grow. And this is the quality we bring to you every game. There's many, many topics we can follow, but I'm telling you, thank you. Now, moving on. The game literally is fizzling to an end. It's 2-0. And Jamaica, literally, everything they try to move forward, it's that quality at the final pass and the final shot. It's the final head. It's just that much off. And you just have to say sometimes you meet teams that really just have your number. And you try. Sometimes you're just not going to get around them. I'm not talking about me so much, but experiencing some high games myself, there were some games that we knew we were above people, and there were some games that we knew, we are really up against it, and I don't know if it's going to be our day. Because sometimes that's just the way it is. Jamaican fans, your team did fantastic in this tournament. You should be absolutely proud as punch of where they were. Disappointed? Absolutely. Absolutely. You've got to be gutted to go down the way you did. You got to be so disappointed, it's unreal. But that's reality. And you love your team. And I tell you what, if you're disappointed, I love you for being disappointed, because it means you do have something in your ticker for your team. And that's what it's all about. But don't be down. There's good and bright days ahead for Jamaica. I tell you what, with that kind of talent, all it needs is a bit more time to bring it together. This was maybe too soon, but they did fantastically well. And like you, I'm slightly disappointed that they're not in the final. But as the game wore through, you got to say, it was that final quality that just wasn't there. And with it being 2-0 up on 90+3, Alvarado taps in for number 3, and it is definitely game over. Definitely game over. But moving to the final, you've got Mexico and you've got Panama. Mexico's won 8 titles. USA's won 7. Canada 1. Panama hasn't won a title. Who do you want to win? Do you want to see Mexico win another one? Or would you like Panama to win one and join Canada on 1-1? Tell me down below what you think. Tell me down below what you think the final score's going to be in the final. Tell me about the awards that we got coming through. Like we already think we know Jesus Ferreira's got the golden boot on 7, bar a miracle from Ismael Diaz, who's sitting on 4. Well, if you can score 4 in the final, that would be quite magical. But I don't think it's going to happen. So there's a few more awards coming. Get into that and tell me what you think. But it's a Mexico-Panama final. Now, get ready for some real good details about the final itself. You're going to love this. That was the moment. Carrasquilla scores the penalty, puts it there past Turner in goal. Turner can't do nothing. And as soon as Carrasquilla sees that ball, and Adalberto Carrasquilla, as soon as that ball goes in, can you imagine what he's thinking? Can you really imagine how he's feeling? Well, what he's thinking is that he's just put Panama into the final, and it's Panama-Mexico coming up, as you know. Now, here's some really fast and furious stuff. I'm not going to waste any time because you know what? I just set up the 2 semi-finals, and I've got to say, all 4 nations put in a really great tournament. But you know what? A tournament produces 1 winner, and we're on our way to getting that winner. And don't forget, as we move forward, Panama is still undefeated, and Mexico has lost 1 game. That was against Qatar. Now, moving into the final, this is the lowdown, the fast and furious. I got to say, Jaime Lozano, since he's been in the job, is doing a great job with Mexico. At the tournament, 5 games in, Mexico's 4 wins and a loss, 12 goals scored, 2 against, plus 10 on the goal scoring. Mexico's ranked 14 in the world, right? There's some stuff for you. Oh, by the way, Jaime, he's a mere 44. He's a young international coach. Now, moving on to the other side to Panama. Yeah. Amigos, Panama is still undefeated. Yes, still undefeated. 5 games in, 4 wins, 1 draw, 11 goals scored, 7 against, plus 4. Mexico's plus 10. Panama's plus 4. 10, 4, 10, 4, 10, 4, 10, 4. Remember that, because it could be interesting. Who did Panama get all those goals against? Well, go back on that schedule and have a good look. Same as with Mexico. You'll see who they've done it with, and it'll just give you more information. So go with that. Go and have a look. See where the goals were scored. Now, recently, a reminder, Mexico's got 8 titles. USA 7, Canada 1, Panama in the final. Is this the year? You know what? You know that I've got a bit of an L3 thing, but you know, for the competition and the numbers and keeping it great for everybody, this would be a good time for Panama to maybe do that. And don't forget, 4.4 million, small little nation. And right now, Mexico's close to about the 130 million. So it's David and Goliath once again. Is David going to slay Goliath? There's a good chance he can. There really is, because tell you what, we're going to talk about some impact players real soon. But it's really evenly poised, this final. It is poised for entertainment's sakes. And I wonder how many Panamanian fans are coming north to watch that final live. Panama's been in 2 finals before. Both finals they've lost to the USA. 2005, they lost on penalty kicks after a 0-0. And in 2013, last time they were in a final, they lost 1-0. And I believe that was at Soldier Field. So there you go. Little history. 3rd final now. Panama. Maybe it's 3rd time lucky. Hopefully it is. Let's see what El Tree's got to say about that. But impact players, keeping this moving, keeping it fast. Don't remember, down below, comments, final. What's your score? Who's the top player? Who's the fair play team? Who's the team of the tournament? Who's the man of the match? Come in the final. We're going to have a man of the match for the final. I'm going to be looking at all the players, and whoever plays the best is the man of the match. By the way, at the Women's World Cup, we will also have the woman of the match. Take a look at Christine. Anyway, letting you know, man of the match and all those awards coming off the final. So, impact players. You got to say, for Mexico first, you're looking at Orbelin Pineda, no doubt about it. Gifted, it can make things happen, can take a hit, and got great feet, great football brain, and he really is just so good to watch. He's worth the price of admission just to see him play. Anyway, Pineda, take a look. Antuna, keep an eye on him. Luis Chavez, as he proved in the semi-final, the free kick specialist there, fantastic shot. Keep an eye on him. These guys can change the game. Midfield, that's where this final is going to be decided. More on that a little bit later, but keeping it moving fast. Pineda, Antuna, Chavez, keep watching. Up front, Martin and Sanchez. Keep an eye on them. Martin did really good in the last game, so things are moving for Mexico. They're getting really good at the right time. And teams build form to win that final. Mexico's building their form. You could say the same for Panama too, but whereas Mexico's had the embarrassing 1-0 loss to Qatar, and it is embarrassing to lose to Qatar. If you're Mexico, you should not be losing. Let's be honest. Mexicano fans, tell me what you're thinking. Am I right? Am I wrong? Is it okay to lose to Qatar, or is it a slight embarrassment for your sakes? Because you're a big football nation, 14 in the world, right? Yeah. Anyway, you've also got to say, defensively, Vasquez and Gallardo, if they play solidly as well, then Mexico's going to do fine. And don't forget Ochoa in goal, 38. As you hear, it's his birthday, 38 years old. Now, looking across the other way, Panama coming into this with great game management, great team unity, lots of confidence. They're strutting their stuff on the field. You can see it. I mean, especially like Harold Cummings. He's like, yeah. And he's talking to the referee, and he doesn't like what's happening at the coin tosses and everything else. He's like, yeah. I'm gonna make like hell for everybody. I'm just gonna get in your heads. I'm gonna be the star. He's great. I love Harold Cummings. He's fantastic. But looking at some of the big guys, Ismael Diaz up front, you've got to look at him. Yeah, definitely look at him. Quintero, yeah. Alberto Quintero, you've got to look at him as well. And obviously, Jose Fiado. If those three click at the final, that's curtains out for Mexico. Them guys click together on the final day. It's lights out. Mexico. Gallo. Yeah, El Gallo is done. But it's got to happen at the final. And you're going up against a Mexico team that's literally hitting form at the right time all over the park. So it's not going to be easy. But you got to say, other players as well. Eric Davis, another guy that's come into that game. I tell you what, Godoy. Keep an eye on Godoy. He's so important in many ways to keeping the spirits up, keeping the structure, keeping the strength, keeping the attitude, keeping the fight, keeping that win attitude as well, that mental winning thing. Godoy's going to be there pushing his guys through and telling them, like a Roy Keane of old, this is the level. Yeah, keep going. And I'm looking for a big game from him. Absolutely. Fidel Escobar, definitely. Harold Cummings as well. In goal, you've got to say Orlando Mosquera is going to bring another great game. Love what I've seen around him. But the one man that's going to get all these guys to click together is Adalberto Carrasquilla. The way he generals and keeps the ball flowing and knows where things to be and keeps the team moving and manages the game for the team, he's like having a coach on the field that's got great feet. And Carrasquilla, for me, is the most important, not that he's above the team, but he's the most important link play for that whole Panamanian team and winning the final. He just put the team into the final with that wonderful penalty kick. But he is so inspirational and so important to this team, not just physically, but tactically. He knows where the ball needs to go, and he can make things happen. So Mexico needs to watch out for him, and this game is definitely going to be decided in midfield. Talking about both teams can win it. And your top players, I just told you who's going to be in the fray. The head-to-head is pretty interesting. 24 wins for Mexico, 12 draws, 5 losses. The last time Mexico lost to Panama, it's quite a few years ago, 2013, 11th of October, 2013. Since then, Mexico has won or drawn, one more so, 13 games since 2013. So Panama's due a win, wouldn't you say? And it's 13 games since they've had one. Are you superstitious? Well, you should be, because 13 is that number. Maybe Panama will do the David and Goliath over Mexico in the final. Remember, there's only 4.4 million Panamanians, and there's close to 130 Mexicans on the planet too. So let's see who wins it on the day, but get ready for a massive game. Remember, top scorers, Ferreira's on 7. Ismael Diaz is on 4. He needs 4 more goals to top that. I don't think that's happening. Get ready for the awards after the final. Get ready for the man of the match after the final. Like I say, we've got women's man of the match as well for the Women's World Cup coming too, so get a load of that too. But most of all, get ready for this final, because I think it's going to be absolutely nuts. I think we're going to have a fantastic, colourful crowd, but I also think we're going to have a mega game of football that we're going to remember for a long time, because it's not the expected final that CONCACAF was possibly waiting to see. But at the end of the day, big up to all the 4 nations that contested the semi-finals. All of you did massive to get to this stage. But at the end of the day, there can only be one. And that one is coming on the 16th. It's going to be a great final. I'm looking forward to it. This has been the best Gold Cup ever. I hope you enjoyed our coverage. Get ready for the final and the post-game show too. Thanks to you. Cheers.